All right, welcome again, everyone, to our Jewel from our Jewels. And today I'm really excited. We have Sapphire Ambassador, California, Silvia Porter. And we met, I don't know, a couple years ago, maybe at like a Super Saturday or something. And then we got to hang out a lot in Hawaii in the pool and had a really good time. And I just really just love her. And so I'm really excited this morning to have this time with her to share with us from her heart. And so I want to introduce to you wonderful Silvia Porter.
Hi, everyone. Cindy, thank you so much for having me on your call this morning. I'm excited to be here. And like she said, we met at Super Saturday a couple years ago, and we did get to spend a wonderful time in Maui last year. And I would definitely encourage you all to make that a goal to get there, because you spend some time with people you otherwise wouldn't get to, and you form really deep relationships, which was one of the things that happened with Cindy and I. And so, yeah, very exciting, and I'm excited to be here. I am thankful that you guys took the time to get on this. I know it's summertime and people are running around and doing a lot, so thank you so much. And Cindy asked me to share with you, and what I wanted to talk to you about was how our business is not chance. Where we are in our business has nothing to do with chance. And I know a lot of times people see other people's success or other people's stories, and we always make comparisons, and we always think like, well, she got there because of, and they fill in the blank with something that they don't have. And it's kind of a way to either cater to your fears so that you think, well, I don't have that, so I can't do that, or it's an excuse or whatever. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys some information, I guess, about how that's not necessarily true. But before I do that, I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. So I joined Plexus on December 1st of 2013. So I'm at about almost 2.5 years. And I did network marketing before that for, I don't know really, it was like 13 to 15 years, somewhere in that area. I mean, I've been in network marketing since I was like a sophomore in college. And I'm 40 years old now, 41 years old. So a long time. And I was only with 2 companies. So I didn't jump around from company to company. I was pretty serious about what I did. I believed in network marketing. I enjoyed it. I saw all the different benefits from it. And I did try to get recruited by like everybody that I knew, because I think they saw me as someone who did believe in network marketing. So they wanted me on their team. And I always told them, I kind of laughed, because they would say, you can earn this and you can earn that. And I would tell them, well, when you earn that, come back and get me.
That's right.
And no one ever did. Because honestly, Plexus is special. It is, not to go off on a tangent, but many companies tout all these things that you can earn, but very few people actually earn them. And that is the beautiful thing about Plexus, is that the emerald and the car and the trips and leadership, it's so attainable by all of us. 13 years, 14 years in network marketing. And I knew some people that drove cars, but then they would lose their cars. I never, in 15 years, or however many years, I think 15 years, maybe the max end. I never earned a car. And like here with Plexus, in 18 months, I earned a car. So it was a big deal. And so I was doing the other company, my second company that I was with, and I was plugging along. I had quit my job. Initially, I was an attorney. I worked for 12 years at 2 different law firms. And I have 3 kids. One of them has special needs. He has Down syndrome. And really, regardless of that, having 3 kids and working a full-time attorney job in downtown LA is very demanding. And it was too much. I wanted to be home. I wasn't happy. My job was stressful. And so actually in 2012, what did I say? In 2012, I left that job. I told my husband, we need to figure out something. I don't want to do this anymore. And so our hopes were that the business I was running would replace about half of my attorney income. And maybe once or twice the check did, but that was it. And we went through a full year of me not working. And then I saw my best friend from high school who had moved to Texas post about Plexus on Facebook. And I was surprised because I had just seen her in the summer and we talked about not being able to lose weight. How the older we get, the harder this is getting. And so she mentioned that she was able to lose weight. So that caught my eye. And then the fact that she had rejoined a network marketing company caught my eye because she had sworn them off many, many years before. So I called her and I was like, what's going on? And she told me about the products and she was going to send me a sample. And like I said, I'm pretty well versed in network marketing. So I Googled the comp plan and I read it, and I signed up to be a preferred customer about 4 days into the sample that she sent me. And then before it even got here, I think I emailed her and was like, yeah, never mind. I'm just going to join your team. So that was 2.5 years ago. And I went full force because I've already been in network marketing. And this was different. It was much easier. I mean, I think that on average, I got up to what I made with my other company within like 3 months, what took 5 years to build up to. And then I've exceeded that every single month we've built up since then. And when I hit Emerald, exactly 18 months later, so I get so confused. I think it was last July that I hit Emerald. So it's been a year. I knew just based on the points and the pool money and all that, kind of taking the minimums of everything, that I would make as much as I made as an attorney. And that actually came true. But the difference is that every single month I've given myself a raise. And at my law firm, it was like once a year, and if you were lucky. So now I almost make double. Actually, I do make double what I made as an attorney.
Wow.
And it's just such a blessing. I get to sit home, do things like this. I am such a people person. I love talking to people. I love helping people. And so training a team and coaching customers, like that's my love language. That's what I love to do. And so it's been so much more rewarding than going to an office and doing all that stuff that I didn't like. And I don't knock working, because some people are working a job that they love. And that's my biggest thing, is do something you love. Because if you're not happy doing it, that would depress me. When I had my last child and was on maternity leave, I thought, I can't believe this is the last long stretch of time that I will ever go without working. And then for the rest of my life, I'm going to work all the time unless I take, a week vacation or whatever. Like, to me, that was a bummer to think that that's what life was all about to me. So Plexus is definitely work. I work many hours a day. I don't want to short sell it and make you think that you're going to make a lot of money doing nothing, because that's definitely not true. But I do love the fact that, my kids are
frozen.
I'll cram 2 days of work in all day long and then have a few days off. So it's a blessing. So I want you guys to recognize that and know that if you work hard, the dream can be yours too. And this can be anything that you make of it. So, okay, I'm scrolling through my notes because I typed this all up on my phone. So actually, though, I went Emerald last July, and then I hit Sapphire in April of this year, and I'm gunning hard for Diamond. So we'll see when that happens. I'm just kind of plugging along. Okay, so back to the thing about your business not being chance. I want to give you some tips. I was once at a Richard Brooks, well, it wasn't his conference, but he was speaking. Richard Brooks, who's the author of The 4-Year Career. And he said that people often look at joining a network marketing company, they compare it to buying a lottery ticket. And they think that what they've purchased is a chance at getting lucky. And for some people, they scratch the ticket and they get lucky and they win. And for others, they don't get lucky and it doesn't work. But here's the problem with that kind of thinking, and this is what he taught us, is that when has any business just out of nowhere worked for somebody? Like, no one gets lucky in business. Business doesn't work like that. Ask any successful businessman or woman, and they will tell you about all the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into their business to make it successful. But here's the beauty, is that you probably don't have to pour blood, sweat, and tears into network marketing to be successful. And if you did, you'd probably just guarantee greater success faster. But I truly feel like this is a business that you can't fail at unless, I don't ever want to make absolute statements, because there are people that for whatever reason don't have a big network of friends or people that they know. If you don't have a social network or you're not an outgoing person, I've actually had 2 people ever join my team and tried and it didn't work, but it was because their circle of friends was so limited for whatever reason. Their life circumstances were like that, and they tried, but that's a very small percentage. Out of 2,000 people, that's been 2 that I know of. So it's not about chance or luck. What it's about is about you making a decision that this business model works, and there are plenty of people in Plexus to show you that it does. You have to believe in the business. You have to believe in Plexus, in the company, and that what we offer is worth it as far as the business goes and the products. And then one thing that you have to know is there wouldn't be this many successful people in the business aspect, on the business side of it, if the products didn't work, because our company is completely product driven. We don't make any money. I understand that the threshold for being active and earning points is low, but in the grand scheme of things, if everybody isn't selling some kind of product, we have nothing. So our point value is driven by our sales, and just the way the company pays us is all based on sales. So the business side is fueled by our products that work. So you have to believe in our business model, network marketing as a whole, our company, and our products. When someone takes someone's success and chalks it up to luck, that infers that their own dreams are unattainable because they themselves are not lucky. And I don't agree with the concept of luck. And I don't think that the concept of luck should get so much credit. I believe that anyone who is coachable and trainable and is willing to take action, which that's the most important step, can do and achieve great things. So there's a quote in Millionaire by Halftime, and it says, the moment we take responsibility for every aspect of our life is the moment that we start moving in the right direction. So I know we look at other people, and I don't think there's anything wrong with looking at other people, but you can't use that as a crutch or an excuse to not do something or to validate something that's not happening in your life. And actually, something that Leslie Zahn taught us, obviously, is you should never be jealous of someone's journey, because you do not know all the circumstances. You don't know what their network is. You don't know, just all kinds of things. But she said, other people's success shouldn't be something that brings you down. I do hear a lot, I have to unfollow certain people because I just can't handle to see them promoting so quickly or whatever. And Leslie Zahn says, you know what? That should encourage you to know that it's possible. Okay, she could do that. I can do that. Instead of the reverse of, well, why is she moving so fast? So when you stop giving luck credit for someone else's accomplishments, or you stop blaming your perceived lack of luck for your accomplishments, that's when things will change. It's true that if you're willing to work for 2 to 5 years, you have a chance of earning a 6-figure monthly, a 6-figure income and achieve financial freedom. Like I said, it took me 18 months to replace my attorney salary, and then it took probably another 6 months to double it. So that's crazy. I mean, I would have to work, I don't even know how many years to get that many raises. I get a raise almost monthly. Okay, maybe not monthly, but let's say every 2 to 3 months, I give myself a raise that's equal to what I would have gotten in a year in the professional field. So, okay, so how do we go about this? How do we go about not giving up, not, letting someone else's accomplishments kind of drown ours out? I think that the number one step is belief. You have to have 100% belief in what you do. Do you believe in our company and our products? If you do, it makes moving from desire into action so much easier. And that's my biggest thing that I talk to my team about. A lot of people want things. A lot of people say, you could post on your team page, I'm doing a challenge. Who wants to do this? And 100 people will go on there and say me. And then you start the challenge and 15 will actually do it. Okay, so to me, the big trigger is moving from desire into action. To me, that's a big step. And when you question, who do I work with? Who should I work with? I'm trying to move up. I want my business to keep growing. Who should I work with? That's your filter right there. Not the people who say they want to do it. Do some kind of a challenge. I mean, it could be a 72-hour blitz. I do those pretty often. And that will tell you right there who's willing to work. Because when I say, we're doing a blitz, who wants to do it? Put yourself in this list and I'll add you to the group. And like I said, maybe 25% of the ones that say they want to actually do it. So and you'll also notice that there's a certain group of people who are on every call, who are at every training, who say they want to do every single thing, but they don't do anything. They're like in the feed me, feed me, feed me mode, but they don't ever turn into action and moving forward. Okay, so those people they need coaching is what they need, because they need coaching on how to get out of that mode. I think it's fear. Teach me everything. Take me to a training. I'll be there. But then they don't ever do anything to help their business. So they need coaching and getting out of that fear zone and moving into action. So back to belief. These are the building blocks. You need belief. If you're constantly coming from a place of fear and doubt, this will taint everything that you do with your team and your customers. So if you have a fear about network marketing, how are you going to approach someone to join your team? Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. We don't nag people. I mean, you'll be fine. No. This whole thing of like, we're not salespeople, we're sharers. I don't like that line personally, but if you're confident in what you're doing, hey, I have a business opportunity for you. Look at what it's done for my life. If it hasn't completely done something outrageous for your life, you tell them the little things. You start with, my first paycheck, I got a pedicure. Now I could get a pedicure whenever I want because my husband doesn't even know the money's gone. I don't advocate hiding things from your husband. I'm just saying it shows that it's not making a dent in your budget or in your money, period. So confidence and belief is going to set the tone for how you approach people, and it's going to set the tone for how you train your team. So my tip for this is know your why. Your belief is rooted in your why. And your why has to be something that you dig down deep into. Not just, I need to make an extra $500. Why do you need that extra $500? Because I can pay a couple extra bills. Why would paying a couple extra bills out of separate money from what you guys already have help your family? Well, because it kind of seems like every month it's $500. Like if you keep digging down, you'll get to that main reason of like, this is the only thing we fight about. Or this is the thing that keeps me up at night, stressed out at night, is this one thing. And if Plexus could get rid of that worry, I wouldn't be so stressed out. So don't just leave it at like, what do you want to do with your business? I want to make an extra $200. Okay. Like dig down into the why until you're down to the part that like makes your gut wrench, because that's what's going to motivate you when you want to quit is I'm doing this for a reason. So don't give up. One reason that people are ineffective at navigating setbacks and rejection. Well, no, one reason people fail is because they're ineffective at navigating setbacks and rejection. And you have to know that in this business, you're going to have setbacks and rejection. And as soon as you can get past that and know that your business will continue despite the fact that your first 5 customers that you ever had quit, or that people tell you it didn't work. I mean, I could go on forever and ever about that, so I don't want to turn this into a whole nother call. But learning how to me, the biggest thing about people who quit is realizing that if you troubleshoot and you dig deep, the chances are it's not that it didn't work, it's that they didn't follow one of the steps that's like, are you taking the right products? Are you taking them correctly? Are you taking them consistently? All those things. And if you dig that down into that, you'll probably realize it's not that it didn't work, it's that they didn't try. And as soon as you can get into that mentality, it's easier to let it go. Like, okay, you didn't want to give this a try, move on. So after belief comes commitment. You have to make a decision that you are going to do something and you are going to do what it needs to get it done. So, if you decide that you're going to become Emerald, you don't give up. You keep going. You stay committed. You work out a plan. Emerald's a big goal. So it has to be broken down into smaller goals. What are you going to do monthly? Okay, then what do you need to do weekly? I know you've probably heard this over and over again, But if you don't break it down into those tiny steps, the idea of like, I'm going to be Emerald by July 31st, that's overwhelming, and it freezes people and it paralyzes them. If you say, okay, in order to do that, I need to have 200 people join my team. Okay, that's 25 a month because I have 4 months. And if you do that and you break it down, then you go, okay, 5 people a week. My team can do that. And then you realize like you can do this. So commitment, having a plan, and moving forward with it. Okay, so number 3, like I said, is moving into action. Refusing to leave something to chance means that once you've made a commitment, you also need to move into action. And I believe that the primary action that will move your business in a positive way is personal growth. What are you feeding your mind? As I've said before, don't leave this to chance. Don't leave what's getting into your mind to chance. Be intentional about this. At Plexus, we focus on having healthy bodies, but we need to focus on having a healthy mindset. So everything we surround ourselves with feeds our mind, everything. So what are you looking at online? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What type of people do you surround yourself with? As a leader, okay, so those are things that you can kind of figure out on your own. I'm not going to go into examples and details, but you know, what are you reading? I'm not saying don't read for pleasure, but are you putting a personal development book in there also? What are you watching? I love to watch TV. I know people say I don't have time for TV. Well, I have time for TV every night, like at least an hour. My husband and I watch a show. But do I get on YouTube and watch training videos also? I do that. What I do want to focus on, though, is people that you surround yourself with. As leaders, talking to someone, I know that this can be a challenge. Everyone has problems. And one of the first things that I heard, literally, I think the first training call that I listened to when I joined Plexus, Sarah Marble had a guest on. I'm not sure who it was. It wasn't Plexus related. He wasn't in Plexus. She had a guest speaker, and he said, if someone calls you complaining or talking negatively, like if it is not an income producing activity, cut it short. So if someone's having a bad day, my team kind of knows. We all have issues. But if you're calling me just to gripe, that's not going to work with me. If you're calling me to tell me what your issue is and then let's work on a solution, I'm happy to do that. But no 30-minute pity parties. As a leader, and it's sometimes hard to do and I still fail at it, but you should not join in the griping. Oh, I know. I have a girl on my team who does that. No. If you do that, then they think it's okay to do that. And then when their team member calls them, they gripe with their team member. So when your team member calls you and I have this girl and blah, 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 la, la, la. Okay. If it's going on and on and on, let her know, like, look, I totally understand your frustration. Talk to me about how this is impacting your business, or what are we working on? Do we need to have a 3-way call with her to coach her, whatever, but you need to be working on a solution. To me, that's a time waster, no complaining, no, that's just not allowed. And you might have one person, like my best friend was my first ambassador. So her and I have each other. So her and I can go to each other and kind of vent our frustrations, but even amongst each other, I know when I'm like, oh gosh, you've been going on about this for too long, like be quiet already. And we work on solutions together, so I don't just call and vent, but it's good if you have that partner so that you're not venting to different people. And then they think like, every time I talk to her, she's complaining about something. That's not the image that you want to give off. But again, you don't want to be fake and think like business is all candy and roses, because we know that we do come across some stumbling blocks. But as leaders, like I said, you need to learn to control that conversation and make sure that you're teaching your team, okay, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to sit on the phone and gripe with you for 30 minutes. And so how are we going to resolve this? Some ways, positive ways to feed your mind, obviously, are to read good books. I love the 21 Irrefutable Laws. Actually, though, I love that book as a leadership book. But I just did the, I think I have it here, but what to say to yourself when you're talking, what to say when you're talking to yourself. If you have not read that book, you have to read it. It is crazy what self-talk does for you. It's, it's no joke. I mean, it's what you say to yourself, what you think, your thoughts all have an impact on who you are, how you function, how you lead. And so that book was invaluable. I would read it and then maybe do a group study. So personal growth books. I would attend corporate events or seminars, trainings that you have offered to you. I would never say no to a training if I'm available, you know, unless I'm going to a wedding or out of town, I'm there. I think that you personally are going to get the benefit from that. I've never been to a training that I thought was redundant, even with the same speakers. You always hear something different. There's always different people in the group and they're giving their different examples of like, oh, that happened to me and blah, blah, blah. I would always go to trainings. It also sets the tone for your team. You know, here in California, as Cindy knows, Super Saturday was in Bakersfield and all of us were like, what? That's such a far drive. Who wants to go there? You know, and I had people actually considering like, I don't know if I'm going to go. And I was like, you better go. Like, you can't tell your team that this is not important. This is a corporate sponsored event. Like, I don't care what you think, you need to be there. So you have to have that same attitude as a leader. I mean, that's like going to like a firm meeting and the lead partner is not there. Like, it just doesn't happen. So if you want your team to know that you're serious, you need to be at corporate sponsored events. You want to build positive relationships. Like I said, pay attention to who you're surrounding yourself with. You know, it was in Maui when people kept saying, run with the runners, run with the runners. And I didn't understand, like, how do you know who the runners are? And like I said, now, the more I grow and the more I put out challenges and I see who's doing stuff and who's not, that's how you know who your runners are. The people that are willing to cross over from that desire, because we all have desire, from the desire into stepping into action, those are the people that you want to concentrate and work with. And then finally, find a mentor. It doesn't have to be a mentor that you talk one-on-one with, although you probably have that in your upline or your Jewel upline. You've probably made connections, but follow people on Facebook. Go and watch their YouTube channels. We can be mentored by Celeste, by Sarah, by Helen and Sonia and all these wonderful people without having to go directly to them, because all of our time is stretched, you know, with our team members. And it's very often that people will say like, yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with you, but is someone going to say, yeah, I'll coach you one-on-one every week? I don't know how that's going to necessarily pan out, but you can follow them on their YouTube channels and their Facebook pages, and you'd be surprised at how much training and how eye-opening it is to see how different people do things. So I know my time's coming up. That actually was pretty much the end of my tips, is belief, commitment, and action. And like I said, that's our team mantra, is move into action, move into action. And drilling down into why people don't move into action is there's going to be some fear. So you just need to talk to them about, you know, what is keeping you from doing X, Y, Z, and let them answer, because there has to be an answer as to why they're not doing it. And just work with them. And hopefully that will help your team continue to grow and to move forward. And thank you for having me on the call. And
Silvia, that was amazing. I have 3 pages of notes.
Oh, geez.
I have to write things down in my brain, because I just love learning from every one of you guys, and it's just so exciting. And I really recommend all of you guys do that too. Like, put aside what you're doing and get your notebook out and write these notes, because you can go over and read what she said and really study it, because every word you said was amazing and I loved it. I loved the move into action. That's our new thing. I mean, it's not new. I talk about it all the time.
Right.
But this week, we kind of pick a thing that we really hit us, and I think that's it. You know, the fear, finding out what the issue is, and things like that. So, thank you so much. Let's unmute ourselves and thank her for spending the morning with us.